More entities may soon be able to utilize LB 840 funds in the city of Scottsbluff. KNEB.TV News starts right now.
From your trusted source for news in western Nebraska and eastern Wyoming, this is KNEB.TV News. Presented by Platte Valley Companies, premier provider of financial services.
Hello, I'm Ryan Murphy. This is KNEB.TV News powered by Platte Valley Companies. Thanks for joining me. In our top story, the Scottsbluff City Council has given first-round approval to a measure that would allow retail establishments to benefit from LB 840 funds. During Monday night's meeting, members gave unanimous approval to the initial reading of the ordinance that would allow retail as qualifying businesses under the city plan. Economic Development Director Star Lael explained that the expansion would only apply to the 50-some-odd vacant building spaces that are currently in the city's Business Improvement District.
The maximum amount that business would be able to receive would be $10,000 or 50% of the project, whichever would be less. They would have to have at least a 10% monetary investment, and there would have to be other financing involved, which we require now with our LB 840.
She noted that adding retail to the city's LB 840 plan has been in the works since 2019, but the pandemic put a major delay on getting the proposal to this point. Well, a 30-year-old Scottsbluff County woman is facing a Class 2A felony theft charge, accused of taking more than $30,000 from local businesses over the course of more than a year. Jamie Brown made her initial appearance in Scottsbluff County Court Wednesday on a charge of theft by unlawful taking in excess of $5,000. During the course of the investigation by Gering Police, investigators say they determined Brown, who had some bookkeeping duties at a local tax preparation company, had written a series of unauthorized checks to herself and for a series of questionable purchases on accounts for the business, the former Super 8 in Scottsbluff, and a Gothenburg motel. With the addition of unauthorized use of a hardware store rebate form, investigators claim Brown had taken $31,060. Bond in the case was set at $50,000, and a preliminary hearing has been scheduled for November 17th. We'll have more news right after this.
Looking for free instead of fees? Platte Valley Bank can help you keep your finances moving forward with no ATM fees. Whether you're headed to the lake, the mountains, or just to the grocery store, you can enjoy the freedom of free ATM access anywhere, anytime. Platte Valley Bank. You belong here.
Changing leaf colors means yard work. Your friends at Tri-City Stormwater wants to remind you of the proper way to dispose of fallen leaves. Leaves make great mulch for trees and bushes and compost for future gardens. The city also has yard waste bins, so they can dispose of all your leaves at the city compost facility. Always keep your leaves out of the gutters. Not only do they cause clogging and flooding, they can pollute our waterways by causing nutrient overload. So keep your yard looking good and your drinking water safe, because it's our water, our responsibility.
Welcome back. The Scottsbluff City Council will have a new look following Tuesday's election. Mayor Jeannie McCarrigan was re-elected to her seat and will be joined by newcomers Betsy Vidlac and Matthew Solomon. Incumbent Nathan Green, along with challengers Eugene Bott and Chris Miller, were in the bottom half of vote getters. The new council will be sworn in during the last council meeting of 2022 or the first of 2023. Well, the city of Mitchell will move on to its third mayor in 15 months. Back in September 2021, Mayor Dave Curtis resigned from the post, and former Mayor Brian Taylor was selected to take over. During this year's election, Taylor was challenged by Paul Morrell, who won Tuesday's election by a mere 4 votes, a tally of 198 to 194. No word yet if a recount on that race will be sought due to the margin being less than 1%. And Bridgeport has their first woman mayor in Gail Beyer after she took the win 287 to 269 from John Erickson. Since the beginning, Beyer has said Bridgeport needs a city administrator.
Well, we definitely need a city administrator. I've been transparent from the beginning of my race on a few things, and hiring a city administrator is one of those. And I believe in transparency of the decisions that are made and doing them in an effective manner in the city council meetings.
In other Morrill County races, Chris Baird and Jamie Hernandez were elected to the Bayard City Council. Randy Irick, Bill Ferraro, and Donna Stewart also being elected to the Bayard School Board.
Make a great investment this Black Friday. Renewal by Anderson's awesome Black Friday event is back by popular demand. Don't wait another day. This is incredible. 20% off every window, plus a Visa gift card for up to $1,500. No money down, no interest, no payments for 18 months. You don't pay a dime until 2024. Make a fantastic investment. Act fast. This incredible offer runs from Black Friday, November 25th through December 9th only. But don't wait. Book your free estimate right now at rbawyoming.com. Renewal by Anderson's Black Friday sale is back.
Morrill County. At home.
The Evergreen Credit Card by FNBO. Earn unlimited 2% cash back on every purchase. Every day. Everywhere. Never worry about expiring points or category restrictions. Plus, there's no annual fee. Only from the Great Big Small Bank. A bank ever ready for you to earn more, wherever life leads. Evergreen by FNBO.
Now, sports from the FNBO Sports Desk. FNBO, the Great Big Small Bank.
Let's get to the preview for Scotts Bluff at Omaha Gross Catholic. Tomorrow night, it's the Bearcats at the Cougars in Omaha with a spot in the Class B state championship game on the line. Scotts Bluff head coach Judd Hall tells us why Gross is such a formidable opponent.
They're good on both sides of the ball, extremely good on both sides of the ball. I think they have the recipe that we're trying to accomplish as well. I think they can run the ball in November, and I think they're really good at stopping the run in November. So I think to be successful in the playoffs, you have to do those two things. And to this point through the season, they've shown that they can do that at a high level.
The Cougars are 11-0, the 2 seed, coming off a 42-6 home blowout win over York last week. They've scored 40 or more points 8 times this year. Meanwhile, defensively for Scotts Bluff, they've pitched 3 shutouts in the last 5 weeks, including last week against Scott. Versatile linebacker Jace Wilkinson on keeping it simple and taking care of business.
We have to stop the run first, if anything, and then we just have to play fast and play hard all the way through.
Over on the offensive side of the ball, quarterback Braden Stoll coming off a career night last week in the win over Scott. He had over 200 yards rushing and scored all 5 touchdowns. No surprises really on what we're looking at offensively.
Their whole defense, they play fast, play very hard, so we got to match their intensity coming out of the start of the game and then just wear them down throughout the game.
Now, the coaching staff for Scotts Bluff, tons of experience in these type big games, but for the players, this is all brand new as far as playing in a state semifinal, and Wilkinson had an interesting take on it.
It's the semis, and I feel honored to come back. It's kind of like a revenge tour for some of us. Me, Joe, and Tyson were the camera crew when we went to state with the older team.
The hay's in the barn at this point for the Bearcats, and all that's left to do is go out tomorrow night and earn a spot in the state title game.
You know, I think we have some nice wrinkles in order to take advantage of some of the things that they're doing. So I think if we go out and execute our game plan, take our chances or take our shots when we have them, I think we have a great chance to come out on top.
We'll have coverage tomorrow night from Bryan Stadium in Omaha starting at 5:30 on 107.3 The Trail. My colleague joins me. Kickoff at 6 o'clock Mountain Time. Closing out quickly with some Cougar volleyball notes ahead of their trip to the national tournament. That'll be next week. Seedings and pairings announced today, and the Cougars get the number 4 overall seed in the bracket. They'll open against Blinn Junior College. That school out of Texas. That match next Thursday at 2 o'clock our time in the afternoon. The winner of that one will play again that night in the quarterfinals against either NJC or the host school there out of West Plains. Tonight at Cougar Palace, men's basketball with WNCC hosting Seward Community College out of Kansas. That'll tip off at 7 o'clock. That is the latest today from right here at the Sports Desk. I'm Chris Cottrell.
The Evergreen Credit Card by FNBO. Earn unlimited 2% cash back on every purchase. Every day. Everywhere. Never worry about expiring points or category restrictions. Plus, there's no annual fee. Only from the Great Big Small Bank. A bank ever ready for you to earn more, wherever life leads. Evergreen by FNBO.
Culture trumps everything else.
In my years, I've never worked for a company that treats people the way this one does.
It is my passion for agriculture that brought me here in the first place, but not only that, there's a huge family-oriented atmosphere within the 21st Century Equipment.
I love working for 21st. They found something in me that I didn't know in myself. An intern to where I'm at now is such a great opportunity, and that is what this company is about.
Well, let's take a look what's happening on today's community calendar. The community calendar is brought to you by Riverstone Bank. First State Bank is now Riverstone Bank.
Community strong with the same people you know and trust.
The Skyview Drive-In is a new take on an old theme. It's the perfect place to see beautiful sunsets and films that the whole family can enjoy. The historic Midwest Theater has been bringing us together for a long time. The Skyview Drive-In is another part of the Midwest Theater's commitment to this community. The Midwest Theater and Skyview Drive-In Theater. It doesn't matter how you get there, just get there.
Looking for free instead of fees? Platte Valley Bank can help you keep your finances moving forward with no ATM fees. Whether you're headed to the lake, the mountains, or just to the grocery store, you can enjoy the freedom of free ATM access anywhere, anytime. Platte Valley Bank. You belong here.
And finally tonight, Allo Communications has once again been selected by the U.S. Department of Labor for the Hire Vets Medallion Award, one of 835 recipients from across the country. The Medallion program is the only federal award program that recognizes employers who successfully recruit, hire, and retain veterans. U.S. Secretary of Labor Martin Walsh announced the awards during a virtual ceremony held yesterday. Well, that does it for us this time. Thank you so much for tuning in. Stay safe out there. We'll see you here next time.